welcome to Prepper's Paradise. I am your host, Richard Merkin, and we are going to be discussing various aspects of preparations and learning from each other, hopefully. This is part of the prepper community. This may not be the only prepping show on the internet, but I hope that it's the most stylish. And I'd like to get something out in the open before we even start talking about preparation. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, what is going on with him? And I just want to assure you that no, well, yes and no, I should say. Of course, I'm talking about wearing white after Labor Day, and although this won't air until after Labor Day, I can assure you this is the middle of August. August 15th to be exact. Well before Labor Day. But my editor, who's supposed to be really good, isn't starting until October. So this is filmed much earlier than it's going to be released. That explains that. So there are various aspects of preparation, and I'm going to be discussing different topics on different days and different shows. Today we're going to focus primarily on personal safety. I believe there's a priority of preparation that everyone should follow. Number one is personal protection and safety. Protecting yourself from others first, from the environment and whatnot. And so if you're a prepper who's worried about social unrest, economic collapse, even things like natural disasters and pandemic outbreaks of Ebola or bird flu or what have you, it doesn't really matter. Human nature, we need to prepare to defend ourselves against others. Today we're going to focus primarily on firearms, and I just want to give my beliefs on firearms and my philosophies, and I'm also going to discuss how I maintain my firearm, my primary firearm. Not my only one, but my primary one. And so let's begin. Okay, so first we need to make sure the chamber is empty, which it is. You can see right in there, it's empty, nothing in there. And I want to discuss my personal primary firearm for preparation. And this is the Glock 22. This is a .40 caliber semi-automatic pistol. And it has night sights on it, which glow in the dark, so it aids in nighttime shooting. I also have underneath here mounted a flashlight that is 200 lumens, and I can easily turn it on with my trigger finger and use that as a backup flashlight. I don't like to use it as my primary flashlight in an emergency situation, but it can be used as a backup. And I just want to discuss why I chose the Glock .40 caliber pistol for my primary weapon, and that's because it has tremendous stopping power with .40 caliber, and I can easily put 15 rounds in my magazines. These are Hydra-Shock, very good stopping power. So I can put a fair amount of rounds in one magazine, and obviously I have multiple magazines. And then the other reason, which I'll show you in a minute, is this right here, which is a 9mm barrel that can be swapped out to allow me to use 9mm rounds. And of course, this particular magazine is 17 rounds in this one and this one, and this is the big boy, 22 rounds in the big boy, and that is only in 9mm. It does not have the 40 caliber larger capacity magazines. By the way, these are magazines, they are not clips. Clips are something different, please look it up. So, for maintenance, we're going to do another safety check. Chamber's empty. So you just slide the barrel, or the slide back a little bit, and release here. Try not to catch your fingers, and then you do have to pull the trigger. And the barrel and the slide come right off. So, the little spring mechanism is all captured there. The barrel is removable here. This is the 40 caliber that came with it, and then if I wanted to put the 9mm in, all I have to do is slide that in like that and replace the captured spring and slide that back on, and now I'm ready to go with a 9mm. So another safety check. I don't always get that, do I? There. So, now that I have the gun disassembled, I'll review how I clean. Okay, for cleaning, it's a very simple process. I have this pocket cleaning kit that was very inexpensive, and it has brushes and things right inside. This is the 9mm. This is it's actually 38, but it works for 9mm. And so I just put the brush together. It just screws in like this, and the rest of the handle is like this, and then this just pushes in here, and there's the brush, and it's ready to go. I'm just going to move these magazines out of the way, and my holster. The holster does not work with the light, but I did. It's very easy to remove this light though, which is nice. And that just pulls off like that. Well, anyway, the light does come off, I think. So not so easy. But I did want to discuss why a pistol and not a rifle, a shotgun, not a shotgun, blah, all that. So a pistol has the advantage of being concealable, and if you're in a suburban or urban situation, that might be important. And of course, you should have a concealed carry permit. Everyone should have that, pretty much. I mean, not everyone, but trust me, I know some people who should not. Drama queens. Anyway, so not everyone should, but if you are a prepper and you know, stable and all that. You should have a concealed carry permit. You should have a pistol. And the reason I prefer pistol over rifle is concealability. Now, in an urban or suburban setting, I am pretty accurate up to 100 yards with my Glock. Not every pistol is as accurate as a Glock. Certainly a shorter barrel or smaller gun is less accurate, so that's something to consider. The reason I like the Glock 40 caliber 22 is that Model 22, it's not 22 caliber, Model 22 is that it's a good balance between concealable, not super concealable, but concealable, and accuracy and stopping power and versatility. The reason I didn't get a 9mm, even though I like to shoot 9mm, is that with a 40 caliber I can shoot both. If I got the 9mm, the end here of the slide is too small and you can't put a 40 caliber barrel in. So you can put a 9mm in a 40 cal, but you can't put a 40 cal in a 9mm. So that is that. So for cleaning, this is quite clean already, but I'm going to show you how I clean. I use Ballistol, and this is, it's eco-friendly, it's biodegradable, it's non-toxic, and it works really well, I think. So I just spray a little in here, and then I do hit it with the brush. Oops, sorry. This is the brush for the 9mm. So I spray a little in there, and then I hit it with the brush. And what I do is I get in here, a lot of powder gets in here, and so I just brush it out like that. And then unscrew the brush off here, and there's a little push thing here, which I screw in, and I take a little piece of cotton cleaning patch and fold that over, and oops, push that through. And as you can see, that's pretty clean. It's not immaculately clean, but you know, pretty darn clean. And always clean from this end to this end. You don't want to go the other way. I don't really know why, but that's what they say. So that's pretty much all I do for the barrel. And then for, oops, I'll move that. Here on the slide, I like to put just a dab using the nozzle. Just a dab of lubricant here and here, as well as here, here, and here. And trust me, just a little bit of lubricant in the right places can make all the difference. I think you know what I'm talking about. So, I also clean in here with the toothbrush and make sure that the slide rails are cleaned out, and so I do that with the toothbrush and the Ballistol. The Ballistol is a cleaner and a lubricant, which is really nice, all in one product that seems to work really well with the Glock stuff anyway. And then I just clean out these slides, these rails in here, because they can get a little junky, and you want to make sure that it slides nice and easy. And then a little bit of brush in here, here, and this little ramp here is very important to keep that clean, because that's where the bullet slides in and allows the rest of the cartridge to come along with it. And by the way, there is a difference between a cartridge and a bullet. The bullet is the actual projectile. So the bullet hits here and slides the rest of the cartridge up. So that is very important that that is kept clean so that it doesn't get hung up in there. So I'm just going to clean out this. It's already clean, but I'm going to run some cotton through because I sprayed it. It's nice and clean. So I am going to reassemble. So I make sure it's clean all in here, in here, in here, and where the actual firing pin comes out here, that's nice and clean as well. So that's in there, it slides nicely, and good sliding is important. And then we put the spring back in place, and it just catches on that little shelf right there. Not the top one, the one that's down, so that the spring is nice and even with the slide. Here you can see it's all lined up perfectly. And then you can just put the slide on the rails, and it slides right into place, and like that, and you are ready to go. So it's empty, so we know it's empty, and I can depress the trigger. Okay. And so this is how I store it, and I will put my little light back on because I'm going to be storing it for, you know, possible nighttime use. So the light just slides on this on the Picatinny rail. I like that name, Picatinny, and it clicks into place. And there we go, nice bright light. And so I will clean up. I will clean up and talk a little bit more. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode of Prepper's Paradise. I am your host, Richard Merkin, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode and maybe learned a few things. And please share this video and like it if you like it. And join me next time. We're going to be discussing other aspects of preparation, such as water and food and shelter and those types of things. But please send me your comments and other show topic ideas, and I'll consider them. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.